Do not collect pitchers, they say.
Paul Skenes taking the mound. He struck him out.
The hobby advises against investing in pitchers, catchers, defensive players. But is this true? Let's dive into it today. What is up, everybody? I am Dappz here with the one and only Ethan, and we are back for another episode of Up or Down. The show where we dive into what really moves a card's price up or down. But first, we love our fans and we want to show our appreciation with our weekly giveaway. Last week, we gave away a PSA 10 Honeycomb Jalen Hurts out of 22 Mosaic. And the winner of the giveaway is Sons of Thunder. Sons of Thunder, congratulations. You won the Jalen Hurts. Please remember to comment underneath your comment, DM us on Instagram, and we will get you this card shipped out this week. Guys, remember, like, comment, subscribe to enter any giveaway any week. All you have to do, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment anything you want underneath this video. And remember, we are giving away another card. I'm going to show it to you right now. No, we're not. We're going to give it away later in this episode. Keep watching. Okay, Ethan. So strikeouts, lockdown defense, pancake blocks, all of these things don't really go into the stat sheet. And I think that's why a lot of people in the hobby don't collect defensive players, pitchers. Do our friends in the hobby have this wrong?
For the most part. I mean, nowadays you look at Paul Skenes and Shohei Ohtani are two of the highest selling players in baseball. The Jacob Misarowski cards are setting records every day now. There's still not a translation in football. Like offensive linemen still don't sell. Defensive players don't sell. In basketball, centers don't really sell. But now that you look at it, Victor Wembanyama was one of the hottest players in his class and is a 7'4" monster. You can see the change of the tides. If you're a good player, you're making an impact, your cards are going to sell. That's just flat out how it is now.
Yeah, and I mean names like Aaron Judge, Patrick Mahomes, Shohei Ohtani. These guys produce big stats, which lead to big highlights, which lead to big searches on Google, which lead to big searches on eBay. And when your card is searched on eBay more often, listen, cards are finite to a degree, right? There's only so many that are listed on eBay. It's supply and demand. The more people who want a card, that's what's going to drive the price up of it. And, you know, you could say to me, oh, well, Dappz, there's X amount of Prism-based cards, but it doesn't matter how many there are. How many are on eBay right now, right? And then how many buyers are there for those cards?
Yeah, I attribute these big new sales for different position players to a lot of the new collectors coming in the market. I will say that Fanatics has done a great job in bringing a lot of new buyers into the market, so the old heads can't just force what sells anymore. Like the debut patch, for example, pitcher debut patch is the highest debut patch sale right now. It's the Paul Skenes one. I think that they're just bringing not less educated, but people that want different stuff, you know? Like back in the day, no one would buy Topps now. But nowadays, those are some of the best cards in the business. So they're just dictating what sells. And it's good for the hobby because, you know, a pitcher is important. You know, the relief pitchers are important. The offensive linemen are important. Like, these type of players should sell if they're making that impact.
Well, also, I mean, when it comes to the playoffs, usually a starting pitcher is the reason a team will win a World Series or a pivotal series in the playoffs. I mean, like, look at a guy like Madison Bumgarner. I don't know if you remember 2013, 2014, 2015. Like, he was so dominant. He started 2 games, and they were also like, oh, 6th inning? Bring in Madison Bumgarner. Pitch an inning or 2, right? Just absolute dominance. And, I mean, you look at the Strasburgs and the Max Scherzers, and these guys and Justin Verlander, right? These guys come in these pivotal spots. And the interesting thing, too, is starting pitchers – even later in their career, 35, 36, 37 years old, you have to pitch one game. It's not like you have to, you know, have all this endurance and all this strength, and you have to be this young 22 to 25-year-old kid to make an impact. As I was kind of re-entering the hobby 6-7 years ago, I was told, you know, starting pitchers aren't worth anything. And now you see Paul Skenes, right? And these sales, and they're absolutely insane. And I mean, even like Clayton Kershaw's card, for example, his 06 Bowman draft auto was like $200 for 7 years, right? Now that card's $3K. Some pitchers should be way way higher than some batters who haven't done anything.
I think we can attribute a lot of this change to science, actually. Because back in the day, you have Tommy John, you're never coming back. They didn't have the surgery. Back in the day, when centers fall and they get hurt at 32 and their knees break, there's no repairing to it. Achilles tears would take out players left and right. Science has changed now. If you can get Tommy John at any age, you're back in a year. Guaranteed. Maybe even better nowadays. So I feel like now that these players could have long careers, because if you look before like the Dirk, Duncan, Garnett era, like these big men wouldn't last. Now they're playing 20 seasons. Now they're collectible. So Jokic, Wemby cards, you can see them actually playing for a long period of time and impacting games for a decade or two. So, I mean, Rich Hill at 45 years old just got called up for the Royals to pitch another game. If you could make it to 45 pitching, you kind of have more of an impact than a batter who's only going to make it to 36 or 37.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also, over the last 10, 15 years, you've got guys like Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer. These are guys who all won 3 Cy Youngs, which is insane. It's also, think about the short list of pitchers in history who have won 3 Cy Youngs, and to have 3 pitchers in the last 15 years who have won 3. And by the way, Jacob deGrom, who's dealt with a lot of injuries, he has 2, right? So, like, and he's pitching extremely well this year, right?
Yep.
And then you have Screwball, who won a Cy Young last year. Who did Skenes win the Cy Young last year?
No, it was actually another old fart. Chris Sale came back out of nowhere.
Oh, right. Chris Sale won it.
Yeah.
So, you had Screwball who won it last year, and it looks like he's going to win it again this year.
Yeah.
It looks like Skenes is going to get his first. Skenes is super young. Mizorowski's coming around. So it's like, what do pitchers have to do to get the respect of the batters?
I feel like it's only since like 5-10 years ago that pitchers are coming back from being bad. Back then, you get bad, you get sent to Double-A, we never see you again. But we're seeing, like, just Chris Sale's a great example. And I thought he was out of the league after the Red Sox run. I thought he was never coming back. And then last year, had one of the best seasons of his career.
And listen, you see that Paul Skenes $1 million debut patch sale, and you can say whatever you want about Dick's purchasing it. But let's reference another card. 2023 Bowman Draft Prospect Auto Gold out of 50 PSA 10. This was selling for a little under $4,000 following its release last year, and now it's selling for $15,000. So that sale to Dick's allows all these collectors underneath, this huge debut patch sale to realize, wow, I can make 3, 4, 5x on my money, or just collect and have a card that's valuable long term. Now, this is where people really have to start to make decisions, though. If you spend $4K on a card and it's worth $15,000 the next year, like Paul Skenes, don't get me wrong, on paper, 3, 4, 5 Cy Youngs, who knows what he does in his career? He's got to get out of Pittsburgh, right? But also, if he gets injured, you have 1 year you made $10,000. People have to know how to take profits too. Because listen, if you're a Paul Skenes collector and you want to collect long term, you could still, in theory, buy a card for $4K or pull it out of a break or a pack, sell it for $15K the next year. He gets injured, that card's going to drop in price the next year. You could maybe buy it back for $5 or $6K, and then you made $9K, and you have your card that you want to collect.
I hope that the injury impact on cards is lesser than what it used to be because, like I said, science is better. If Skenes gets hurt 1 year and has Tommy John, I actually now have confidence in 2 years he'll be back and better than ever. I also think that if you really look at the market in general, injuries will always cause massive drop-offs. So anytime you 3, 4, 5x on a card, you're best to just take your money because the odds are maybe 1 in a million that it keeps going up from there. Because you can diversify, take that money, put it into 3 younger guys who can also 10-5x instead of waiting on the big guy to maybe 2-3x. It just, in money management, you should just take profit most of the time. Unless it's like the Patrick Mahomes.
So what are you telling collectors, investors, flippers, anybody in the hobby? Are you advising them to look at pitchers, look at offensive linemen, look at defensive players, or one of the 3, 2 of the 3? Are you investing in any of these guys?
I want you to reimagine what a position player could do for your team because, like, Travis Hunter is a great example. He's going to be playing both sides of the ball. He's going to be impacting games, and his market's going to explode. So back in the day, I wouldn't even look at a Travis Hunter card. We weren't even really looking at Deion Sanders cards. Deion Sanders played 2 positions and baseball, and his cards don't even do that much. I feel like if you look at like a Heisman winning safety that comes into the league, you can realize that he's going to change his defense around and he'll be the face of the team. And there's marketability and there's potential to make tons of money off it, because right now the normal buyer is not going to buy the safety, but you could buy the safety knowing that he's going to do a lot.
So a guy like Joe Alt on the Chargers. One, have you purchased any of his cars?
Maybe one or two.
Okay, and you flipped it.
Yeah, quick flips.
Right. But what's also interesting is that the NFL is releasing a new award this year, end of season award, Protector of the Year, to the best offensive lineman. So could this potentially increase the value of certain offensive linemen because you win the award, now your name's in the press for a couple weeks, now maybe collectors start searching eBay for those cards.
Dude, you totally should. And this brings me back to like the Quentin Nelson's Colts situation. Quentin Nelson goes to the Colts, went from the most sacked team in the league to the least sacked team in the league, and his market went up a lot. It hasn't stuck because he hasn't made the same impact, because remember, he's not even a tackle. He's just a guard. If you look at like Joe Alt or Penei Sewell or like some of the key offensive linemen on some teams, or how about Jordan Mailata on the Eagles, who pretty much, if you look at the game, they won against the Chiefs only because their offensive line was just the tightest unit you'll ever see in your life. I think that offensive lineman could have a market one day. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be the same as a quarterback, but it can be like what a running back market is. A running back market's so weak right now that you could have the same type of market movement.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of kicking myself right now because I over the last 6 months, Justin Jefferson's Black Finite I've seen on eBay or an auction house. I've seen Jamar Chase. I've seen a lot of receivers and kind of non-QBs. And I'm going, damn, this just seems really low for a Prism Black Finite, 5, 6, 7K, right? And now I've seen Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, a bunch of receivers just sell in the last 2 weeks, and they're getting the prices they deserve. 15, 20, 25K, right? So Nico Collins, I think, just did like 14 or 15 grand on alt. But that's a card you probably could have scooped up 3, 4, 5K.
I was there when
months
someone
ago.
bought it. The guy who owned it paid $2K for it.
Right, exactly.
Right in front of me at the Chicago show.
Right. And like that, in my mind, like being a football fan, if you watch Nico Collins, like that's a baller. He is a baller. Like Nico Collins is no joke. Nico Collins could be a guy who ends up with the best statistical season of any receiver any given year. So like I'm not saying it happens this year, but if Nico Collins had the most touchdowns or the most receptions or the most reception yards any year in the next 3 years, I wouldn't be like, I can't believe that. Like he's a huge athlete with superior speed, with a great quarterback on a good offense. He's primed to have a breakout year. It's just when you look at guys who have names like Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, you go, oh, well, he's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th best in the league. But again, one of those guys gets injured one year. Then now there's a smaller pool to play from. The Texans are in a really bad division, right? Texans go on a run. Like Nico Collins, like I said, could end up statistically having the best fantasy year of any receiver any given year. So that's why I like guys like that. And the reason I bring this up is Jonathan Ogden, Larry Allen, Joe Thomas, legendary offensive linemen, they sell for 1 to 2K. Like they're PSA 10 rookies, like their best cards, right? So if you're looking at a guy like a Penei Sewell or a Joe Alt or whoever it is, and they have a $500 Black Prism Finite,
buy it,
right? Like, and then they win this new award, that could easily sell for 5K at auction.
Really,
you know what I mean?
So.
Like,
I think we have a little bit off to take because these wide receiver sales are way too high. Wide receivers are not important. Let's look at the Chiefs' first 2 Super Bowls had no receiving core. The third Super Bowl, they had the best receiving core they've ever had, and they got smashed. Look at Tom Brady's team back in the day. Your receivers don't matter. You know what really matters? Offensive line. Go look at the Bears this year. Last year, Caleb Williams, most sacked guy in the league. This year, a good offensive line. Watch the change of that whole organization. Your offensive line is more important than your running back, your receiver, maybe more than your defense. So let's give them some credits for once.
No, I agree. I completely agree. What are we buying?
So we're going to go after the same cool cards we usually look at. Thursday on Alt, we're going to be bidding on a 2020 LeBron James Tribute Blue Ice PSA 10. One of the hardest cards to gem we've seen out of Prism. One of the coolest looking cards we've seen out of Prism. Remember, they don't do a lot of horizontal. They've only did this because It's the Kobe tribute. This is one of the better colorways in the set. I think the blue ice is good. I think the purple ice is good, and I think the gold is good. This is a collector's card that only is a pop 7.
I was looking at that, and to have 125 cards and only 7 of them are a PSA 10. Like, this is what we always talk about, low pop count. Like, as time goes by, 20 years from now, if you have a LeBron James tribute to Kobe card that has only 7 PSA 10s, that's a great card to have. That's an amazing card to have. And to be honest, I think we could talk about a different variant of this card every week on the show, and I would still be excited. This is one of my favorite cards. Do you know who has the 101 of this?
It was Shine, and they sold it.
I mean, that is just a really cool card.
It was and there's a public sale. It was a private public sale.
And there's obviously a couple different 101s. Is there a nebula of this?
There is a nebula.
There's a finite, right?
There's a finite, and there's a nebula. I've never seen the nebula.
I don't think I've ever seen the nebula either.
I'm going to go look when I get home because I'm a buyer.
Like, that's a card, long term,
crazy cool
that
card.
could sell like for $1 million 20 years from now.
Wow. And it's like, we pull up a lot of rare cards a lot, and some of them aren't that aesthetically pleasing. This is rare and beautiful. It's a good combination.
Well, I mean, think about also like the Kobe Bryant card with LeBron guarding him. That card is so iconic, and this is the equivalent of that 15 years later.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is the next variant of that card, and obviously the hobby is a little wiser to this print than they were to that one. Growing long term, it's already kind of higher. But there's no way over time, like, this card will always be LeBron James's tribute to Kobe, and it's never gonna go like off a cliff.
No,
right? It's always gonna be steady, but it has that opportunity. Like, did you see this? I think it was a 2013 or 2014 gold Kobe prism. Just sold for $60K.
Oh, yeah, the 2014. Yeah, it's super rare, and it's such a good look for that card.
Dude, so I'm at the Dallas card show like 2 years ago, and the guy has the Tom Brady of that card, same card. And he's asking $30K for it. And I'm like, bro, you're out of your mind. Like, $30,000 for this card. And like, I think I was saying you're out of your mind because I was looking at other sales, right, of similar cards of Brady. And I just thought he was way overpriced. And like, I think I offered him like 15 and this guy just wouldn't budge. But to be honest, if that guy held that card and didn't sell it, like, there's no reason that Brady won't sell for $60K also. If Kobe can sell for that, Brady can sell for the same.
There's a Brady bump coming for sure. But the last thing I want to mention on this card, the date of release was 2020. This was fresh after he passed away. There's no other horizontal prisms this year. When this card came out, like you said, people were hunting it down. So people who were alive during that time are always going to want it.
Yep.
This is going to be a big impact card. This is a 2016 Prism Jaylen Brown Gold PSA 10. If you look at the Celtics, you couldn't even recognize him anymore. No Zingis, no Drew, no Tatum next year. He was the final MVP, and he was the talk of the town about last year. Let's see now if he can lead a team to the playoffs by himself.
Yeah, and I love a gold Prism True. Like, I think that's always a great investment. I think you're right. Jaylen Brown has the opportunity to shine as the guy on the Celtics, and also the East is weak enough where I think the Celtics can still like make the playoffs. I don't know if they can beat anybody, but if somehow the Celtics were a 4, 5, 6 seed and somehow were able to win one playoff round, and he is the reason, this card is going to skyrocket. And I think also this card could skyrocket mid-season if Jaylen Brown is just like balling out.
Yeah, and I don't think the last sell on this card is very high at all. I only think it's like, I'm pretty sure it's under $10,000 for this card. He could average 30 and 10 and 5. It's his team now. He's a very smart guy. He's good press conference. He's very marketable. He's on the Celtics, who are a good fan base. This card has the most room to multiply.
What do you think this ends at?
Oof. I think it ends at like under 15K and above 12K, which is just really cheap if you look at any
what
other
number
player.
are you out on it?
I'm out on it at 14,999.
14,999.
Yeah, anything over 15K, I'm out.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Wow, the infamous backyard giveaway.
For a couple of weeks, I've been mentioning that T-Law is a buy. He's going up. Be ready for it. And now the last 3 weeks, if you've been watching sales, if you've been watching Facebook groups, if you're watching card shows, card content, Trevor Lawrence is the hottest guy in the market. And this is the stolen Trevor Lawrence gold kaboom from backyard, making its way up on the screen. PSA 10. I mean, this card doesn't gem. Also, it doesn't move. People who own this card overpaid for it. It's just a 2021 card. So people were paying 50, 80, 100K because
he fell off a cliff.
Yeah, and he fell off a total cliff. This was when cards were going for nonsense prices. So if you have it, you've been diamond handing till this moment, you genuinely don't believe in T-Law, and it's time to cut your losses.
I mean, listen, Trey Lance and Mac Jones in that same class.
Yeah.
Some of the sales on record of those guys is insane when you think about it. Like,
Your
guys
boy Zach
literally
Wilson?
taking 95 to 100% losses.
Yeah, and this guy is like, this is my out, and this is time to sell it. And if this card sold last year, it wouldn't even be at that 12K mark.
And I'm going to put out a flyer to everybody who is getting into collecting or who's already collecting. And listen, just as a cautionary tale, like, you are approaching, we are, end of July right now, going into the National. You are approaching a zone where, like, you should not buy any football.
No.
Zero football.
Sell
like,
all of it.
Sell it all. And like you just said, the Trevor Lawrence market is heating up. Football market is heating up. And when a market heats up, the prices go up. And when the prices go up, that's the wrong time to buy.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be plenty of people who buy cards over the next 30 days, and they pick the right guy, but that's basically gambling, right? Like, you gambled on a player. They ended up doing amazing. Good for you. You should have been buying in February and March and April and now selling. That was the strategy. I would focus heavily on either who you believe is going to be in the baseball playoffs right now, right? And stay away from Judge and Ohtani. Unless Judge wins a championship, then you'll make money, but that's a big if. Ohtani's way too high already. Everybody else on the Dodgers, Ohtani's just too much star power. You can't invest in any of them. You have to hope you pick a New York Met or you pick a San Diego Padre or a Houston Astro who wins the championship. That's who you'd have to go for. I love that the Jaylen Brown we just looked at, right?
Yeah,
because Jaylen Brown, he's going to be down a little bit right now. People are heavily focused on football. Not everybody's looking at basketball. But again, that's a little bit of a risk with Jaylen Brown. Like, you're banking on the Celtics being a mid-level team. That's what you're banking on.
And you're so right about all that. So the past couple months, I've been secretly buying all of these cards I'm going to get rid of. Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy's, Joe Burrows. Secretly now, I'm only buying Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud because I think they're cheap. But at the National, I'm not going to buy any of those. What I'm going for are Jackson Churio cards. I'm going to go for these young 19-year-old basketball kids, the Reed Shepherds, the Ron Hollands, Matas Buzelis, because no one knows who they are, and this is your only chance to get it before that. At the Nationals, as we both know, your basketball cards, if they're not Kobe Bryant or Jordan, aren't going to move. So go look at that table. Go find that young prospect that you've been doing research on, and this is your chance to buy basketball and baseball. Do not go for a football card. You will lose all the money you have.
And then this next card is super attractive to me. I love this card.
Yeah, I only put this on here for you. This is the 2018 Prism Gold Lamar Jackson 9.5. It always ends cheaper than we think.
Yep.
You've always wanted this card because you believe in Lamar. How do you not believe in Lamar? Talent alone, this is a top 3 athlete in this sport. This card's going to do low, as it always does, and people are going to forget how good he is.
The black finite, I was looking at it, and ended at like 80K, which goes to show you it's already up because the gold is outperforming that sale. That was a steal. Whoever bought that for 80K, absolute steal, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy that card. Gold Prism, 20K. This looks like it should end at 30 maybe, or 25.
Oof. I already think it's so high, but you're right. At this pace, it looks like it's going to end.
It's
at
funny
30K.
you say that you think it's high, though, because, like, based on his performance, like, this is exactly what it should be. It's not high or low. Like, Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP. There's maybe 10 players. I don't even know if there's 10 players in NFL history who have won 2 MVPs, right? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and again, I'm sure it's close to 10 total, right? So I have a Purple Power rookie Prism Lamar Jackson, and for anybody who's unaware, that year Purple Power autos were only printed to 8, which is his jersey number, and it's a color match. It's a disgusting card, and I only paid 6 or 7K for it a couple years ago. I'm a true believer in him, and maybe I should sell it now because his prices are going ballistic. But I would really like to see that black Prism finite sell for $250,000 and then put my card up.
I don't think he's ever selling because he's just never going to go away because he's too much of a baller. You know, just the speed alone, the mental game, the agility. But you know what I notice about this? If you look really close, what do you see on this chart? Look at the Pop One Black Label. Where is that card at? There's a Black Label Gold Prism Lamar Jackson. You need to wait for that sale to happen.
What is that, 50K?
That's got to be closer. That's got to be closer to like the Prism Black does. It's got to be like a 70, 80K card.
That's gnarly. And again, I think that again, you see, and here's my point, right? Mm-hmm. There is no world in which Jayden Daniels just sold for $500,000 Prism Finite.
Yeah.
There is no reason that anyone in the hobby, and if you gave me a reason, you're just bullshitting me, that any Jayden Daniels Black Finite should sell for more than a Lamar Jackson. No. Meaning that Black Finite Lamar Jackson, by the way, shouldn't be $600K. It should be significantly more than Jayden Daniels. Significantly more. For Jayden Daniels to win 2 MVPs, do you know how hard that is? Like, Jayden Daniels has to win 2 MVPs to be equal to Lamar Jackson. And I don't see that happening. No. As good as Jayden Daniels is, he's not that good. He doesn't have the weapons, and there's too much firepower around him. Like, they're not beating the Eagles. I can't believe they beat the Lions last year. I don't see that happening again.
Yeah, and also, I just sold a Caleb Williams Gold BGS 9 for close to 20K. Now that I think about it, Lamar Jackson should be a lot more than that 30K mark.
So I know that you skip Fanatics Fest this year, but how do you think the National will compare to Fanatics Fest in terms of buying, selling, trading? I don't think Fanatics Fest is anywhere near the level of the National in terms of cards, right? Because Fanatics Fest was incredible in what it was and what it is, but it's just not the National. They're two very different things. Mm-hmm. Fanatics Fest is like an entertainment event that also features cards in a big way. Mm-hmm. The National is a card event that features cards, that is heavily focused on cards, that is the biggest trading, buying, selling opportunity for anybody in the hobby. And that's why I don't think that Fanatics Fest is coming for the National, so to speak, long term, because they're not the same thing. They're different events. Yeah,
at Fanatics Fest, you're going to see the big, hard chase fantasy card, but at the Nationals, you're going to see every card. If you're going to the National and you're looking for a specific card, that's your best chance of finding it. Every card is in the room because these old heads from around the world don't show up for Fanatics Fest. These guys have one show a year, and it's the National, so you're going to see like that super rare 80s card you're looking for, that one of one from the early 2000s you're looking for. And also, another thing that the National has that Fanatics doesn't is you can get your Panini appointments, you can get your black boxes, you can grade on-site with all 3 of the major companies, you can consign at every auction house that's going to be there. There is a lot more hobby-related fun stuff to do than there is like meeting Speed and John Cena. You know,
Sure.
Like there's more like card-focused activities that are really good for the hobby than just like running around playing games with your favorite people.
And by the way, anybody who is going to attend the National, Dappz Sports is actually hosting trade night at the National Friday and Saturday night. We will be doing giveaways, on-stage activations, trivia, a lot of cool stuff. So please join us on the stage. Ethan and I will be on stage. Ethan says that he has a little bit of a stage fright, but we're going to make sure you get up there. And I think we're going to have a blast because I don't think the hobby, I shouldn't say the hobby. Fanatics Fest was absolutely incredible in terms of entertainment, but I don't think that the National has enough entertaining stage opportunities and activations, or as many as they could, right? And we look to bring some of that to the event and make sure that people can engage, whether it's kids, families, moms, dads, everybody is going to get involved in the activations we have planned. So
yeah, and listen, another thing, if you see me at the National and you come up to me and you say, I watched your show, I watched Up and Down, you bring me some slabs, I will pay you 95% on majority. I'll pay you stronger than anyone else. Bring me liquid slabs. I will cash you out stronger than any single person at the National, and I promise you that.
That's a promise.
Yeah.
That's a Dappz Sports guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
All right, remember, all you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe to Dappz Sports channel, all right? Like this video and comment anything you want underneath this video. So if you want us to talk about a particular player or a particular sport next week, let us know what it is. We randomly pick a comment every single week, and we do the giveaway. This week's giveaway is this incredible Shohei Ohtani. Ethan, what is this card?
This is the Murakami Shohei Ohtani from
The
the Japan set.
Murakami Shohei Ohtani from
From the Japan set.
the Japan set. Probably right around $100.
Yeah.
$100 card, guys. We're giving away for free. All you got to do, like I said, comment underneath this video, subscribe to our channel, like this post. We appreciate all of you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching Up or Down.